Yeah. Man, unajua kuna tofauti kati ya kindergarten, nursery school, vidudu na chekechea. Sasa mimi hapo sijasoma zote hizo. Mimi niko na nyumbani kwa Wahindi fulani hivi Wagoa. Ukonga hivi unapanda hivi juu kisha pita magereza kanisani kabla kufika Membe Madafi. Unakunja hivi kulia nyumba ya kwanza kwenye mchongoma. Yeah. Yo, Subi Binagi, what up? Vena, let's go. Yeah.
Yo, my name is Wakazi. You know, some people call me SautiZaBongo, the bilingual beast, Dracula, the Bill, whatever you want to call it. You know, I'm from Dar es Salaam, Tanzania, SautiZaBongo to be exact. You know, I'm a hip hop artist. You know, rapping Tanzania to the fullest. And I mean, I started rapping ever since I was young, but I never took it really that serious until like high school, when I was like starting to understand elements of hip hop, you know, and my friend, we was like into hip hop a lot, to the point where we was exploring each and every day, just exploring each other and learning more about it. So then after that, the later years came where I wanted to take it too serious. Like my friends stopped with it while we was in high school, but then later I wanted to explore more and become more, and I felt like it was my responsibility as well. As days went by, me getting to know the community, and my responsibility to the community as well. When I found out hip hop could be a versatile to shape and reflect what's happening in the community. Well, I mean, first of all, with singing, you have to have a voice of a singer. Like you have to have a voice. But with hip hop, I came to know it's kind of like anybody could everybody who has a voice to speak, so to say, could rap. Because rapping is basically talking, but it's talking in a certain way, in a certain pattern. So I chose hip hop because as soon as I fell in love with it, I never wanted to let it go. So that became my life. Hip hop became my life. Usually they say music is life, but within music, the genre of hip hop became my life, and I never would see myself do anything else. Like there are a lot of things that I'm pursuing and doing, but always the first love would be hip hop. Sometimes I used to juggle and say I don't know which one is my first love between hip hop and basketball, because I used to play basketball a lot, but it's evidently that it's hip hop. So the influence came from me growing up around it, and then my desire to learn and become and know more got me into hip hop. Inspiration. I get inspiration from different people and at different times, but I usually don't like to name like one person inspiring me. But I could say, like, say for instance, in Tanzania, the people who I grew up around, you know, Red Scouts, Black Messenger, Tariq the Rebel, you know, Tariq the Black Moran, Dr. Anna. Those are the people that they were into hip hop, and I was like admiring them growing up. And music in general, my brothers introduced me to music, but then they were not there with me all the time when I was exploring music. Then these people in my neighborhood, when they were doing it, I was so proud of them, so I was kind of like trying to be like them at the time. And then it became a thing, like we was rapping in English, and then there's an aspect of rapping in Swahili, and most of the time people who did so in English couldn't do as good as they could in Swahili, or vice versa. So I came upon an artist called Hashim Dogo who was doing was fluent and articulating both, you know? And I was like, man, I wish to be that. Like I would start listening to his music, and I wanted to be that, because it's like I used to have the same struggle where me starting into hip hop, I started writing lyrics of other artists, you know, cream them and then just like rapping them up. But then when it came up to me writing my own lyrics, it's kind of like that. Subconsciously, I'm biting other artists, and I wanted to be original, you know, and at the same time, I wanted to be able to write in Swahili. So it's kind of like when I met, I mean, not really met because I didn't get any personal, but when I came across his music and see how superior he is in both, I was challenging myself each and every day to become that. Well, there's a lot of great female artists. And it's not like other countries where it's like it's usually being male dominated. Like let's say in Nigeria, there are very few female artists, but Tanzania has been kind of like, if not almost, it's the same, if not almost. So in Tanzania, well, there's some artists who are Tanzanian, but they're not in Tanzania. They're doing their music internationally and trying to break through the global market. One of them, her name is Wakazi. She's lives in Chicago, originally from Bukoba. And another one is Abela. Abela, she's also in Minnesota. She's very there's a artist called Coco Gonza. She's in Chicago. She has origins from Tanzania, and she's very talented and very soulful. And the kind of music that she does is like very different. And it's the kind of music that appeal to me. And also, there's another artist in America who's from Tanzania, Bukoba, called Abela. She has a powerful voice, you know, and she has, in my opinion, what it takes to become that superstar, you know, in every aspect. So I would really like to work with them, and hopefully very soon we might be working together. And back in Tanzania, mainland, it's like I used to always like the work of Enika. You know, Enika, I used to believe she's very talented. You know, I haven't heard much of her work as of late, but I think Enika is great. I can call myself underground. If somebody call me underground, I'm not gonna be mad because it's like I haven't gotten the mainstream appeal yet, and maybe it's not my fault, or it could be my fault, or let's say it could be inevitable for that to happen. But it's like I think I'm a complete MC who value music as art, value music as a business, value music as a means of getting an education, and also value music as entertainment. So when you put all those aspects together, you become a complete artist who can be there for a long time. And I'm shooting for longevity and legacy and having legendary status. So I'm an artist who I could say that I'm versatile and I can be different parts of music. I don't just like concentrating to being put on a certain box and a stigma be put upon my artistry. So I wouldn't want anybody to label me anything, but if I have to do it, then you could have say it's a complete MC.
Alright, in 3 words, how can you define hip hop in Tanzania? Or in 1 word?
1 word. Hip hop in Tanzania.
Stagnant? Growing?
I could say growing. You used to be stagnant for a while. Actually, the reason why I started rapping is because I thought it was stagnant. But then around the same time, I started hearing ideas, new music, and production and stuff, which means that it's growing. Man, that's a very difficult question. There's a lot of good production from Tanzania, to be honest with you. But I mean, that's a very difficult question. Because, you know, music defines time, and there's a time where a certain producer can be hot, there's another time that a certain producer be hot. Like I would just say this, like, there's nothing, the bongo music would never be any way it is if it wasn't for P-Funk. Yeah. And nobody can deny that. And there's a list of the best producers now you hear that they're actually a product of P-Funk. So P-Funk is always going to be the godfather. You know, you can never go away. And actually, as a matter of fact, I'm blessed to have a track with him. Like, I've worked with him on some music, and I think I'm blessed for that. And I wish we were going to be able to work a lot more. Now, there's another producer, Marco Charlie. We grew up in the same neighborhood, so for me to see somebody come from the like studio Bichochoroni to all of a sudden he's one of the biggest producers in the country. You know, it amazes me and it makes me feel good and proud. So I mean, you can never go away. And I like his versatility. He can do straight out hip hop production. He could do a bongo flavor production. It could be a R&B. It could be a dance. Like he's very versatile. So I like that with him. But you know, as far as other hip hop artists, it's a lot, man. I cannot end up mentioning it. Shout out to Bono Styles, who's one of my favorite for the moment. You know, Bono Styles, me and him, we've been working on some crazy stuff. You know, the whole time I do the music crew. You know, the production is off the chain. Without forgetting Jay Ryder as well. Problem up. Yeah, well, I mean, it's very difficult to track down who plays, who don't play, who gets a download, who doesn't. And I mean, when I'm doing music, I intend whoever's gonna reach to them is gonna be something nice and something they're gonna appreciate, regardless, or no matter how many those may be. But on the other side, though, I want to be the artist who's gonna remember who took Tanzanian music to the next level, or level next, what I usually like to call it. So I try my best. All the techniques that I used when I was like releasing my music online, the free music, giving out to the fans, reaching out to them, it's like I'm gonna use the same techniques to reach out to the people when I get hands-on, like reaching out to the places where they had to perform, do interviews and things like that. So basically that's what I'm intending to do, like reach out to the people, even the people who I used to know in the cyber world. Right now I'm gonna like be able to teach out, to reach out to them and give them like the whole Wakazi experience. Well, don't give up on your dreams. That's number one. And don't let nobody listen to advice or follow the people who did it before you, the good and the bad, the pros and the cons. But at the same time, follow your instincts as far as being creative and pushing the limit and to become better. So and then it's like it's not an easy thing to do. It's hard work and it's dedication. So, and one thing else I like to say, dreams don't have deadlines. So do not give up on whatever you intend or you thought you could have done. I mean, I'd like to shout out everybody. First of all, shout out SautiZaBongo for giving me this opportunity, to express myself and let the people in the world to get to be more acquainted with Wakazi and the Wakazi brand. So, thanks to everybody out there, all the hip hop supporters. I'd like to shout out Jama Do the Music, all the artists who've been supporting me from day one. You know what I'm saying? I got family in Houston, a music family in Houston, my Chicago people. You know what I'm saying? All my fans all over the world through the internet, like every city, Nairobi, Dar es Salaam, Bear, Twara, everybody who's been following Wakazi and supporting Wakazi, so to speak. I shout out all y'all, all the artists who've been supporting me, you know what I'm saying, and everybody else, like Freak, the Hefemi Studios, work ethic, that's the team, Wakazi brand, SautiZaBongo, everything, man. We out here.
Contact.
I appreciate y'all. Y'all can reach me out to through Twitter, to Facebook, all that, you know what I'm saying? So like www.twitter.com/Wakazi, facebook.com/TheRealWakazi, and I'm available. You can go to Reverb Nation, listen to my music, SoundCloud, listen and download my music and stuff like that, man. So holla at your boy Wakazi, SautiZaBongo. If you're on the lookout, more things coming your way very, very soon. Holla at your boy SautiZaBongo.
Yeah. Work ethic. Yo, I fantasize about this up in Chicago, but that's not my real city, it's everywhere that I go. I'm repping the spirit of Dizimda. Mtoto wa Mzizima with his 16 bars. Speed 9 inside Samora Avenue.